Hello and welcome back to the channel. Don't forget, if you haven't already, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up and make some comments below. Tell me what you think. I think I've got over, I think it's about 420 subscribers at the moment. So if you haven't already, click the subscribe. It helps the channel grow and I can get more content out and stuff like that. But today I'm going to be talking drones. Drones that I have, which I have two. Well, I have a couple of other smaller ones, but these are the main ones. And the first one I'll get out is in this box. Now, this is a 3D printed box that I printed myself for the DJI Neo 2. And we have to squeeze and pull, and the top comes off. It is an hard case and it's shaped with those two indentations, so it takes the two antennas. So let me take this one out, which is the DJI Neo 2. There she is. And this is the one that I filmed on my bike last week, which is I think probably my last video that you saw. And I took it last week for its first practical test. And I'm going to talk about that. But also I have, and you have seen in previous videos, another DJI. That's the battery charger for the Neo 2. I can talk about that. And the other DJI I have is this one, and it's called the DJI Flip, and it is an odd looking thing. It really is, isn't it? However, so we'll talk about that. And that is the charger for the Flip, the DJI Flip. And as you can see, they come in, that's a white coloured, and the Neo 2 is a grey colour. So you can't get them mixed up. Well, you can't really get them mixed up anyway, but there you go. Now, the good thing about having DJIs is, and this is the reason why I purchased the Neo 2, because I had the Flip, the DJI Flip, and I purchased the Flip with this controller, which is the DJI RC2. And that was the main reason why I then went for the Neo 2, because that controller will also operate that drone. So I think if I'd had to got a new controller, with the Neo 2, I don't think I'd have purchased it. For the simple reason is, to purchase a controller like that, and I'm only going to guesstimate, they're above £200. They could be even closer to £300. So you can see that could put £200 to £300 on top of that drone. So that's the reason I purchased the Neo 2. It's not only the reason. Is the size and its functionality is the reason I purchased it. I did a bit of research. I was looking at the first Neo that come out, but when I started looking, this popped up. It's only been out a few months, so that's the reason I went for the Neo 2, and I think it was £200 and something. Again, I'm not exactly. If I can find it, I'll drop it on the screen so you can see how much it was. And I brought it as a combi pack, and it came with that, which is the battery charger, and it's the combo version. However, when you buy it without the RC2 controller or any controller, it doesn't come with the 2 antennas on the back and this module that fits on the back. And I've got to be honest, when I purchased it, I didn't realise that, and it arrived, and I was quite surprised it wasn't on the back. However, that was my fault. I didn't read it correctly. However, within, I think it was 2 weeks, the modules came out. They came out, and that cost me an extra £20. So that was an extra £20 on the top. I was a bit disappointed that DJI didn't supply them with that. It come with the drone already attached. Because the thing is with the Neo 2, you don't need that. You don't need the controller. You can fly it without the controller. And that was one of the main reasons why I purchased it. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do something similar with a flip. However, this is more portable. It's probably not quite as small as I would like, but then when you go down in size, lots of the dynamics change. For example, this would be a bit more wind resistant to a slightly smaller one. So there's lots and lots of factors that you have to think about. So let me talk about the flip to begin with. There it is. If I open it up, it will automatically start when I open it up, or it should. There you go. I've actually got the cover on, so let me take the cover off. That's it. And as soon as you open it up, it's ready to fly. You can see the lights on the front, and it's ready to go. And again, when you fold it up, it's supposed to switch it off. The great thing that it folds up, and there's lots of...
Follow 3. Unable to take off.
It's all right.
Make sure aircraft is level.
I pressed the button as I was folding it up, and that's maybe one of the faults it's got. For me, that's it. I've turned it off. I've got quite big sausage fingers, and when I'm folding it up, it can press the buttons as you fold it up. Yeah, so that is one of the problems. Folding it up, sometimes you can accidentally press the buttons as you're folding up, but that may be just a me thing. yeah, so that could just be a me thing, is my fingers are like sausages, and when I'm folding it up I accidentally press the button and it doesn't turn off. But yeah, when you fold it up, it's supposed to turn itself off. I'll just put the covers back on now. But I've owned quite a few drones over probably about a 12-year period. I actually started with a very small, is it Hubsan drone, just a little thing and a little controller, and I learned to fly it. It had got no satellite connection or other. You got to literally fly it. If you let go of the sticks, it would drop. So that's how I learned to fly a drone. And then I progressed on to the first DJI, the Phantom. It wasn't the Phantom one, it was the one before. And it was something like the DC1 or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so I had that, and then I had a Phantom 4, which then was up in the game. That was then you got returned to home, a much better quality camera. But I probably only had it for about 12 months and I sold it. But I still did like flying drones, and then eventually last year I brought the Flip. I haven't taken it out as much as I'd like to, but you can get some good photography with that. Obviously not the best in the world, but by all means not the worst. Yeah, it's the most strangest looking drone. I don't know where DJI was going with it, but for what I wanted, it worked fine. But it was still a bit too big to carry out with me if I wanted to go out anywhere, and then just get drone out and away it goes. That's where the Neo 2 came in. Like I said, I'd been looking at the first Neo for quite a while, and I took this out last week, and I think that's the last video if you've seen it. I took it and give it a little bit of a test while I was out on one of my bikes, and I was really impressed. I mean, there's a lot more I can do with it that I need to try, but I can see me, you know, just dropping this in a bag. They say it's a pocket size. You've got to have a decent sized pocket to get that in, and then when you've got the antennas on, you ain't going to put it in your pocket because you're going to end up breaking the antennas. So it's not really a pocket drone as such. However, on my bike I've got a little bag on the front, and it actually slots in the bag and the antennas stick out the top, which works fine for me, and that's going to be ideal to transport it around on my bike. So that's good. And then if I'm walking about or anything like that, I can sling a bag over my shoulder. That's the Flip bag. It actually fits in there as well, and it fits into the strap with this case I've 3D printed. I'll make sure I put it on the right way. It actually fits in the handle quite snug like that, and I can then throw that over my shoulder, and I can carry it like that. So coming down to the operating, shall I do some good points and some bad points maybe? That would be the best thing to say. Right, the good points are the size. However, you can't put it in a pocket. The quick availability of it. You can press the power on, and the settings on the side, you can change all the settings there without having the controller on. So if I want to go somewhere, I want to film myself cycling down a pathway or something, I can pull that out, press the power on, press the motor once, and then press the start button, up it goes and away it goes. And then when you finish, the great thing about it is it can be flying like that, and for it for you to return it back to you, all you do is your hold hand out flat like that, it'll fly back, land right on your hand like that, which is absolutely amazing, fantastic. And then once it's touched down on your hand, all the rotors stop, and that's brilliant. And the other thing is, if I've got it flying in front of me like that and then I want it over there, what you do is you hold your hand up like that, you see a light on the front, and then when you move your hand, it follows your hand to the position you want, and when you've got it in the position you want, you do that, and then it locks into the position you want, and then it'll follow you like that. If you want it to go further away from you, you put your hands like that, and then you open your hands like that, and then the drone will move further away. If you want to bring it closer to you, you put your hands like that and bring them together, and then the drone comes back to you. Now, and it works perfectly. There's no glitches, there's no messing around. You do that, it works. The things like that in the past, they've been a bit glitchy, and they work sometimes, and then it works 100% of the time, all the time, which makes it really user friendly without a controller, and that is the plus side for me. The other plus side is, for me, if you want to go and fly it around something and take photos of something, if you've got a controller, you can see on the screen, you can go up, fly it around, watch it on the screen. Don't forget, you always need to keep it in a line of sight, which is the law. So you can fly it around, but you can see what it's recording. You can press record on your controller and it'll start recording. And you can use it like a normal drone with a controller. And that's great. Now, what I didn't say is, I've had something similar like this before, and I have shown some shots on this channel, and it was the Ovia X1, which was good, but it had a lot of limitations, and I thought it was great at the time. The video quality wasn't too great, but I thought when it came out, it's probably been 3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I brought it. It was a little bit smaller than that, not much smaller, and it used to fold. The arms would fold in, and I used to use that for a while, and I found it, you know, quite good, but it was limited. You couldn't use it as a controller, and to get it to do what you wanted was a bit glitchy here and there, and the quality wasn't good. But then I purchased this, so I didn't need it, and I sold it. It sold quite quickly because they're quite popular. But there have been, since I've sold it, or just before I sold it, there was an upgrade to another X3, 2, and I think there might be even a 3 now, I'm not sure. And they do similar things to the Neo. What they do exactly, I don't know, because I haven't researched it. And the reason that I went for DJI is because my two cameras I've got, this one is a DJI and this one over here is a DJI, so I thought it just made sense, you know, just to have all DJI stuff, and then it's all going to be compatible, which it is. Right, so shall I go on to the bad points for this? Right, the bad points is, if you purchase, like I said, you don't get the transmitter with it. That's one, which is not, it's not a deal breaker to be honest. But it is a fact, you don't get it if you buy it as a combi like I did. Let me think of something else negative. Okay. When it's, I'll come back to the antennas again in a minute, but when it's flying in front mode, so it's in front of you and you're going forward, as you've probably seen on my last video, as I went to go under a tunnel, it must have thought there was something there because it went dark and it just dropped on the floor. It landed on the floor. Now, I've got to go back to the good bits. That landed from, I'm going to say, it's probably about 4 to 5 feet off the floor, and it didn't even scratch it. It didn't even mark it. That's another plus side for these. If they do bump into something, they are well protected and they're quite well made. I have seen on social media where people have broke them. They're not indestructible, but they are quite strong, and they will drop on the floor or something like that, and they usually quite safe. Which this did, 4 or 5 feet from the floor. Just as I went to go in the tunnel, it must have hit the blackness and thought there was something there. The rotor stopped and it just dropped on the floor. So that's a negative side. Now, when you go through the tunnel and it's following you from behind, I had no issues. It just followed me. It probably because it's locked on and it's going in the way, it's locked onto me, it follows you. But when it's in front of you, it's not following you, and the sensors at the back, I'm guessing, thought it was dark, maybe thought it was a wall and dropped. So that's something maybe they can improve on the next model. The other downside is, I'll come back to the antennas. Obviously, they're quite delicate, and I can see them getting broken off. And yet, okay, the modules are only £20, but they're still £20. And if you break a few of them, your cost is gonna grow. It's gonna get more. So that is a downside, and it would be nice probably in the next model up if those antennas are incorporated in the model somehow. I'm sure they could have done it. I don't know. I'm not that technical, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure those antennas could have gone inside somehow. Maybe in the arms. I don't know if that's possible, but not in the arms, but in these in the casing or something. The other downside is battery time. And if you see, the batteries are not very big. If I get one out, you'll be able to see. They are a bit fiddly to get out, to be honest, but they do pop out. They're not massive batteries, and I believe you can buy other batteries, bigger batteries, but the ones that they come with are... Oh wow, that's really small writing. I wanted to get the rating for you. Lithium, 8.6 volts. Rated capacity is 1606 milliamps. So you can get about between 7 and 10 minutes real time. I don't know if they advertise you can get 15 minutes, but real time. And then that depends on the wind, how you're using it, etc, etc. So if you look between 7 and 10 minutes, you've got to keep that in mind. And I think if it runs out of battery, it will just drop. I'm not 100% sure about that because I haven't tried it, and I'm not sure what it would do if it didn't drop, because you haven't got a return to home point if you're using it manually. If you're using it with a controller, that's different. You've got a home point, and I think it'll come back to that home point if the battery is getting too low. So that's something you've got to take into account, and that's one of the negative sides, is the battery. The other negative side is you really can't fit it in a pocket, especially with the antennas on. You might see people saying, yeah, you can get it in a pocket. You've got to have a big pocket, and you would have to squeeze it in. Do I have a tape measure here? No. Or they've measured across for you. You wouldn't get it in your pocket really comfortably. It would be a squeeze, and definitely not with those antennas on. So that is another downside. Any other downside to it? Let me think. Price rise. Is that a downside? It always is, isn't it? So you can say the price is probably a downside. Maybe if it was a little bit cheaper, or it came with the antennas, maybe that would make that purchase better. So what do you think? Is it something you might consider getting yourself? Is it something that interests you? I definitely know I will enjoy this, and it's well worth the purchase for me, and to buy the extra £20 for the antennas. So it's worth it to me. Is it worth it to you? If you're a family, you're going out for walks, it would be ideal. You get your family shots, put it in the palm of your hand, press the button, the mode you want, off it goes. It's taking pictures. It'll take still pictures for you, snapshots. So if you've got a family group, put it onto snapshot, send it up it goes. You can have your family on the side of your, I think it does 3 snapshots, so you can do 3 portrait modes. So you do portrait, then another one, and so on. So if you got your family and you're out with your family, that would be great. It's like having your personal photographer with you. And then, of course, you get the video on the top as well. You can have it video in you, which is good quality video for the size of the camera. Oh, just one other thing to mention is, you don't put an SD card in. It's got internal memory only. I'm trying to think the memory size. However, it's unlikely. Yeah, well, you wouldn't fill that memory up on one shoot, definitely, and probably not on 2 shoots. But you've always got to remember to download when you come back. Download off what you've got, and then clear the memory, so you've got room to take more video. So that could be a down point for some people, because you haven't got a physical card you take out. So if that one was full, you could take it out and put another one in. That is probably a downside for a lot of people. Not everybody, and I don't think it will be for me, because I don't take that much video or stills. So that's something to consider as well. So there you go. Which one would you prefer? The Flip or the Neo 2? What do you think? To be fair, I enjoy them both, and I'll keep them both, and I will fly them independently from each other for different reasons. So I think it's a great tool. I absolutely love it. I thought it was great on my bike. I wished I was in a more open area, because I could put it up to the side and it can follow me sideways, but I was just going down a cycle track with trees on either side, so I couldn't do that. So there's a few other things that I've got to try, and I think it would bring something to the videos, and I think it'll be an asset to me in the future, especially when I can get out. But there you go. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ding the bell for notifications. And come and say hello, give me some comments, tell me what you think. Is that something you get, the Neo 2 or even a DJI Flip? I know some people don't like these, but I quite like it, it's good. But there you go. And all I've got to say now is thanks for tuning in, and come back and watch me again. And don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up and ding the bell. And I'll see you soon.